Hi guys, Chris here, back with another video. So happy new year to everyone who's watching this. Hope you have a good year ahead for every one of you. So today I thought I'd talk about my New Year's resolutions, possibly about New Year's resolutions you might have, reasons why and things that you can do to try and achieve that. First of all, my breakfast. So I have here about 220 grams of carbs, of which only 140 need insulin. I've had about 4 units of Nova Rapid for it. I have bananas, dates, grapes and oranges, which I haven't had in quite a while. So first of all, sort of preface this by saying I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions as such. The way I kind of look at it is this: if you have a goal or something you want to do or something that's worth doing, get it done. Don't wait till a certain date, some arbitrary date. Do it now. Do it as soon as you can. That said, I realise that for quite a lot of people, New Year's resolutions are quite easy because it's sort of, the new year, it's like a line in the sand, it's a fresh page, a new leaf. So what are some of my goals for this year then? So I'd say YouTube. So it's gone pretty well so far. So I've been on YouTube for nearly 3 weeks and I've gone from 0 subscribers to 428 so far. Most of them, I have to admit, it's thanks to Julian Ryder sending them my way. And it's gone pretty well for me so far. So I've had quite a lot of support, a lot of encouragement from different people, people sharing their comments and questions, people sharing their experiences, and it's actually been quite motivational and sort of helping me keep going. So my goal is to do either one video every day or average a video a day, and that's something I've managed to maintain so far and something I want to do going forward. So for those of you watching, if you ever see me slip to below a video a day, you don't see me post for a few days, message me or something or badger me, make sure I don't fall off the vegan activism bandwagon. So let's see, what I just made a list of other things as well in case I kind of forget. So say sort of my next New Year's goal I'd say is convert others. So it's something I've been doing for about the last year now, constantly talking to people, families, friends, work colleagues. It's not always easy. A lot of people laugh at you, and but some people they always will listen to you, and they'll, what you can do is you can sow sort of the seeds of doubt in their mind about what they're doing, what they're eating, and long term I find that over the course of a year it can start to change people. They become more health conscious. I'd say I've probably, I'm trying to think, I've turned at least one person vegan. 2 other people, I've managed to, and this is in my own personal life, not on YouTube now. 2 other people I've made very conscious, and they're starting to cut everything out. The things they're mainly stuck on is perhaps a little bit of milk and eggs and cakes, and they're going to try and work on that. And I'd definitely say I've had an impact. I mean, the way to look at it is this: I mean, even if you only ever manage to turn one person vegan, that's one person's life you've potentially saved long term. That's one person you've prevented from getting heart disease, you've prevented from getting cancer, from type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, you name it. So if you've ever converted someone, even if it's only one person, you should be, I'm not going to say proud because I don't like that word, but you should be feel pleased with that you can say that you've managed to have that impact on someone's life. So I think for me, my goal this year is to keep on converting others, so through YouTube, through speaking to people. So another goal of mine that I'd like to sort of work on is to sort of learn effective activism. So I kind of already picked up on this myself, and I think Rich Roll probably had a bit of an impact on me on this. So there are different ways to try and turn people vegan. Number one, you can appeal to their own health. That's what happened to me. Appeal to people's health if they're ill. The next one is to appeal to them on the grounds of animals. A lot of people, they don't give a toss about themselves, but they do care about animals. And when people see meat, they don't see an animal or a dead animal. They just see meat. They don't kind of have that mental connection. So that's another way to try and convert people, make that connection for them. Another one is, talk about the environment. So at the moment there are different mass extinction events apparently going around the planet, different species dying off because we're destroying the habitat so that we can, grow grain to then feed to animals, to then kill the animals and eat them, to then make ourselves sick. A lot of people, again, they don't care about themselves necessarily, but they do care about the environment at large. Another great way to try and appeal to people is the fact that, you know, every single day 17,000 children die because predominantly we here in the West are completely selfish and we only care about ourselves. We choose to eat animals, kill, feed grain to animals. We grow the grain specifically for animals. We give it to the animals. We kill them. We eat them. We get sick. And if you were to stop giving grain to animals, you could have enough grain to feed something like a few billion people. I mean, there aren't, you know, a few billion starving people in the world. You know, you could save 17,000 children every single day. And I've had people say to me, "Oh, that's very naive. What makes you think that, you know, that grain would get grown in the first place to go, you know, to, you know, the people who need it?" Well, that's kind of a, you know, bad argument. People like that, they try to paralyze you into a state of inaction. I mean, at the end of the day, if everyone went vegan, stopped eating animals, that grain, it could potentially go to people. So that's another way of doing it. Another means could be, you know, you could have someone who's, let's say, scared of, you know, Ebola, bird flu, mad cow disease, variant human CHD, you know, all these different diseases which actually come to us through animals, primarily by the fact that we, you know, we kill and eat them. You look at all these different superbugs and viruses increasing in number, and it always tends to be that animal products are the source of it. If we stopped eating them, you know, we wouldn't have these different problems. So that's another way to try and appeal to people. So for me, guys, you know, learning effective vegan activism, you know, trying to learn in what situations, what arguments to use, how to approach it, etc. That's something I really want to focus on this year. And if you have any suggestions for me on, you know, who I could go and watch and learn to try and, you know, get a better idea of that, that would be useful for me. So next one I'd say for me is to learn. So I mean, I've been learning quite a lot now since I went vegan in November 2014. I spent a lot watching June Ryder's videos, and I know a lot of people can say June Ryder isn't a doctor. Well, he probably knows more than the average doctor. You know, if there's a population, we'd listen to him as opposed to, you know, your average medical person. We'd probably be a lot better off because we wouldn't be eating the foods that give us heart disease and cancer in the first place. But anyway, I learned a lot from him, and likewise Dr. Greger, you know, Caldwell Esselstyn and T. Colin Campbell. But my goal this year is to keep on learning, reading new books. So at the moment I'm going through How Not to Die by Dr. Greger, highlighting things, writing episode IDs on there. My goal is to learn as much as I can, and that's something that I would suggest that you do if you're already a vegan, or someone who's going vegan and you want to, you know, help family and friends. The more you know, the easier it'll be for you to, you know, debate with people when you get into discussions, whether it be family, friends, work colleagues, people over the internet. I'm not perfect at it. I mean, I'm still learning. That's what I'm trying to say. But the more knowledge you have, knowledge is power, isn't it? So the more knowledge you have, the more options you're going to give yourself when, you know, conversing with people to try and, you know, convert them to your way of thinking. So I'd say that's what I'm going to focus on. I think it's something that everyone who's a vegan should focus on as well, because if you're vegan, you're ultimately vegan for a reason, and I'm sure that reason would, you know, compel you to want to get other people to be vegan the same as you, whether it be healthy animals, children who are dying of starvation every day. My next sort of goal is to put my money where my mouth is. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start buying people more books. So How Not to Die, Proteinaholic, China Study, you name it, and basically buy people books and put my money where my mouth is. And so sometimes when you know, you're speaking to people and conversing with people, the best thing to turn around and say is, mate, listen, tell you what, I'll go and buy you this book, you can read it for yourself, and if you don't like it, you haven't lost anything. You can chuck it in the bin, you can give it back to me, you can give it to someone else, but at the end of the day, you haven't lost anything. And I think to a lot of people, that will sort of almost kind of startle them. They're going to be quite surprised by it. I mean, how often is it that people in society offer to put their money where their mouth is and go and buy a book on something to try and convert someone on? You hardly ever see it. So I'm not saying that everyone who's watching this, you must do it. I know that, you know, I think there's one fella who watches me who's 16, you know, so he's probably going to be at home, still in school. He's not going to have the cash to do that kind of thing. But Some of you might, you've got kids, you've got mortgages, so I'm not saying you must do this, I'm just saying it's an idea and it's something that I want to do for myself personally. So I think that's pretty much it. What other goals do I do? I want to do an Everest challenge. So when I watched Durin Rider and I saw that he did an Everest challenge, I was kind of blown away, and I went online looking at it more, and I started learning the background of it. So basically an Everest challenge is where you cycle up the same hill over and over and over until you've accumulated the elevation of Mount Everest. I think the most I've ever done is about a third of Mount Everest in one bike ride on the same hill, just as a training thing. I worked out it's probably going to take me about 20 hours to do, so I'm going to have to do it probably in the summer, the peak of summer, for the most amount of light. I think either that or I'll probably do it in something like May or July, where it'll be slightly darker, but it shouldn't be as hot, hopefully. So I'll probably have to just play around as time goes along and see how it goes. But I actually live on a hill, so I live on a hill. It's probably about 1.25 miles long. Average gradient is about 6%, and it kicks up to about 11% in the end, which can be a bit tough when you've done it, say, 20 times already. So that's what I'm going to do it on, because I live at the bottom. I can then go and get food and water and top up as I go along, use the toilet, get changed, etc. So that's one of my goals. Also, cycling wise, I want to do some really long endurance rides. That itself would be quite a long endurance ride, but I'd like to do something like 150-mile bike ride as well as a 200. Really sort of push myself. It might be a bit a very tough thing to do, but I'll go for it anyway. Get it done. What else? I'm actually going to go to California for an entire month of September. I'm going to be staying with relatives. So each day I might either take my bike with me as luggage, or I'll just buy a new bike out there, and I'm just going to go out every day and just ride my bike. It's going to be fun. Do I have any other goals as such? No, I think that's probably it, guys. I think the important thing is to always, keep in mind why is it that you want to do these goals. For me, it's I want to save lives. I want to stop people from getting diabetes, heart disease, cancer. I want to, people who are sick to become healthy, and save the animals, save children. Don't have too many New Year's goals, because if you have too many, that's your attention divided across so many different things. Just focus on a number of really important things that matter to you. Things that you care about. Don't have New Year goals to impress other people. Don't have New Year's goals because you feel pressured to have those New Year goals. Have goals that you want to achieve, for you or for other people, things that matter to you and important to you. So I hope that was useful, guys. I know it was a bit of a morning ramble, but I was just about to sit down and go on my laptop and thought, I'm going to get a video done. Let's get some work done. So I hope that was useful. Please share with me your New Year's resolutions or your goals that you have this year. You might give me some ideas and what I can add on there, which I haven't quite thought of. You might give me ideas on how I can effectively, carry out what it is that I'm trying to do. Help me in different ways. And I hope that was useful, guys. And if you see other people in the comments, asking questions, if they have thoughts, respond back to each other. Get a bit of a community going, some socialise with each other. Help each other. Support one another and be there for each other. So again, I hope that was very useful, guys. I'm going to go because I'm starting to ramble. All the best for you, your family, your loved ones. God bless for this year, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye bye now. Is this: if you have a goal or something you want to do or something that's worth doing, get it done. Don't wait till a certain date, some arbitrary date. Do it now. Do it as soon as you can. That said, I realise that for quite a lot of people, New Year's resolutions are quite easy, because it's sort of, the new year, it's like a line in the sand. Hi guys, Chris here, back with another video. So happy new year to everyone who's watching this. Hope you have a good year ahead for every one of you. So today I thought I'd talk about my New Year's resolutions, possibly about New Year's resolutions you might have. Reasons why and things that you can do to try and achieve that. First of all, my breakfast. So I have here about 220 grams of carbs, of which only 140 need insulin. I've had about 4 units of Nova Rapid for it. I have bananas, dates, grapes and oranges, which I haven't had in quite a while. So first of all, sort of preface this by saying I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions as such. The way I kind of look at it, encouragement from different people, people sharing their comments and questions, people sharing their experiences, and it's actually been quite motivational and sort of helping me keep going. So my goal is to do either one video every day or average a video a day, and that's something I've managed to maintain so far, and something I want to do going forward. So for those of you watching, if you ever see me, fresh page, new leaf. So what are some of my goals for this year then? So I'd say YouTube. So it's gone pretty well so far. So I've been on YouTube for nearly 3 weeks, and I've gone from 0 subscribers to 428 so far. Most of them, I have to admit, is thanks to Barnard sending them my way. And it's gone pretty well for me so far. So I've had quite a lot of support, a lot of